all you saw was this red glow, and it was the scariest part of the whole entire thing because we were trapped. My name is Lisa DuPar, and I am an artist. I have always been creative, and I was a hairstylist for over 35 years. Always painted and, drew. But when I retired from doing hair, I just thought, oh, it'll be fun just to do, a little painting here and there, and didn't realize how fulfilling it would be to really dive into it, because from doing hair for so long, I didn't have the creative freedom to do whatever I wanted. I had to do whatever my client wanted. And so that was great, but once I started painting, and I started slowly, and at first I was painting and I was more thinking like, what would people like to buy? So I kind of was putting myself in a box at first, and honestly, at first I started using acrylic paints, which was a lot of fun, but not until I really discovered different mediums and playing around and experimenting, and especially with inks. I think right now inks are definitely my favorite, and a lot of it is you start off in a certain lane, and you don't really know where it's going to take you. So it's just kind of the next step. And being that I did hair for so long, when I retired, I had different injuries to my body from standing and bending, and so I have arthritis in my thumbs and back issues. So painting is a release for that, because I think maybe that's too why I like the inks. I don't have to hold a paintbrush, and I have different ways around it. So both my parents, my mother and father, both grew up in San Francisco, and my father was a San Francisco fireman, or firefighter, as they say now. He retired after 30 years as a battalion chief, and that was a big part of our lives. He had such a wonderful group of friends, and they really learned to enjoy their time off, and they were very family oriented because of a lot of things that they saw, and with the fires and the destruction of fire, and he's always been a huge influence in my life. I remember it was in the middle of the night, and it was probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were both sound asleep, and what woke my husband up was the sound of these big loud bangs, those propane tanks blowing up. We didn't really understand what was going on at the time. It was very windy, like crazy windy, but it was crazy hot. It was like 92 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was just so surreal. And he had a police scanner on, and we could hear them saying there was a fire. We didn't know how close it was until they said it jumped the freeway and it's headed towards Coffee Park. And Coffee Park's only, like I say, about a block and a half from us. So we literally had, I think from the time we woke up till the time we decided to leave was maybe 20 minutes. We had the clothes on our back. I started seeing flying embers coming into our cul-de-sac, and that's when I knew this fire is very close to us. So I said, we gotta leave. So we got in the truck. I wanted to be together, and let's just go. So unfortunately, everyone in this neighborhood probably left at the same time. So when we left, there is a big field over here, and unfortunately all the cars stopped, and this field was just totally on fire, and all you saw was this red glow and embers coming at us, and we were just stopped, and car after car after car, and it was the scariest part of the whole entire thing, because we were trapped. Eventually the traffic was moving enough, and we were able to go to my husband's business, which was far enough away, and take shelter there, still see the glowing. But when we left, I was convinced our house was gone. So I actually ended up naming the piece Tubs, just because it reminded me so much of the glow in the distance, the yellow and the red and the green hills, and how it was coming over the hills. And again, it's made of ink, so I start off with one color and kind of blend it, and it just kind of organically moves together, which is kind of funny, because it's kind of like what a fire does, how it just moves on its own as well. So when I saw the finished product, I was happy with it, in the sense of I feel like it conveys what we were seeing, especially that night. It was just glowing. I hope people can look at it and understand a little bit about what we saw, other than making it completely black with a glow. I still wanted to show it's so beautiful out here. Sonoma County is gorgeous, with the green hills and the blue skies, and even though it did a lot of damage, time heals, and it's all coming back, and it looks gorgeous. And I've healed. At first I had a really tough time. I couldn't even talk about it. My heart would race out of my chest when I would try and tell the stories, and it's inside me. It's there, but at least now I can see a lot of the positive that came out with the community and friends and helping people. And we had another fire in Healdsburg, and we have friends in Healdsburg, and they came with their family and their child and husband and wife and their 2 dogs and 3 cats, and and we reached out, so because we knew what they were going through, and we didn't want them to feel alone, so we knew, been there, done that. So there's a lot of positive too that can come out of tragedies as well. I think, as someone who thinks a lot, almost too much sometimes, art takes my mind into a different place, and a lot of times I'll play music when I'm painting, and it just heals my soul. Well, I think that's what's so beautiful about art. And my dad taught me this too as a young age. It's that's why they sell blue sweaters and they sell red sweaters. Everybody has different tastes. And, some people will like it, some people won't, and that's okay. I want someone to look at it and feel their feels, whether they've gone through a fire themselves, and go, oh, that might be too close to home for them to have that on their wall in their home. Someone might feel, wow, I know what that's like, and that might be comforting to them. I just want anyone who looks at any of my art just to enjoy it, for happy, for sad, for anything that they want. And that's what I hope, because some pieces of mine I painted when I was happy, some pieces I painted when I was sad, and everybody should just get what they want to get out of it. So if you want to check out some of my other art that I have available, I'm on Instagram, Lisa DuPar Art. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the pop-up art gallery on September 9th. So looking forward to it. Thanks, Brick. See you then.